Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir dominate the wines imported from New Zealand, and for good reason. The flavors tend to be vivid, and the wines make your mouth water from their lively acidity. Hi, I'm Harvey Steiman, and I review the wines of New Zealand for Wine Spectator. New Zealand is an island nation about 900 miles from north to south. End to end, its two main islands are about the same length as California. It's 1,000 miles from the nearest continent, Australia, and closer to the South Pole, so the weather is much cooler. That's why the wines show lots of acidity. You notice that both of these wines, both the red and the white, have screw caps instead of corks. New Zealand now bottles almost all of its wines under twist-offs, a higher percentage than anywhere else. That keeps the wines fresher, longer, and cork taint won't ruin your day. Sauvignon Blanc found a home in Marlborough, New Zealand's largest wine region. Marlborough produces pungent grapes, and they make New Zealand's best Sauvignon Blancs. I love their distinctive passion fruit and citrus aromatics with an overlay of fresh herbs, and they play it against refreshing acidity. It's great stuff, but it doesn't age. I recommend drinking them within a year of the vintage before the fruit starts to fade. Nobilo was among the first to make Sauvignon Blanc in Marlborough, and it's still one of the best. Nobilo's Icon bottling is the equivalent of most wineries' reserve level. For the Icon Sauvignon Blanc, winemaker Darryl Woolley uses some grapes from cooler, hillier Awatiri Valley, which shows more herbal flavors. But mostly it's from the Wairau Plain, the heart of Marlborough, where vibrant, lively, citrusy flavors are more prominent. Let's taste the 2008 Icon. Oh, wow. That's New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's just a burst of citrus and green apple. The main thing you smell is grapefruit. Usually you get lime out of these wines, but this smells like grapefruit. And that's a 2008 vintage. It's kind of a ripe vintage. Oh, but that racy acidity, boy, it's just acid-fueled texture. It's great. It just makes your mouth water. All that flavor persists into a really long, vibrant finish. Little hint of wet stone and citrus peel there. A lot going on in that wine, but it's really easy to drink. And I can see drinking this wine with oysters or fresh seafood, or maybe some fresh goat cheese. More recently, New Zealand's cool climate Pinot Noir has arrived to compete on the world stage. The wines tend to have appealing, fruit-forward character with intense aromatics and polished textures. The flavors range from fruits such as cherry and plum to cocoa and spice. Many are elegant and concentrated. Some very good Pinot Noirs come from Marlborough and from Martinborough, which is across the strait from Marlborough at the southern edge of the North Island. Although it only produces 4% of the country's wine, Central Otago has stirred up the most interest. If you saw the Lord of the Rings movies, you'll recognize the snow-covered mountains that protect Central Otago from the harsh weather blowing off the Tasman Sea. For all its beauty, it is a marginal area for growing grapes. The chilliest growing area in the southern hemisphere makes Pinot Noirs that are high in acidity, ideally balanced with jazzy fruit flavors. One of the best is Amasfield, whose large 150-acre vineyard is in the middle of the area. To me, their wines have a bit more flesh than those of their neighbors, but they have that characteristic Otago zest. Let's taste the 2007. It has such beautiful fruit character, a little bit of mineral behind it. It's very bright, has a lot of that ripe currant and floral smell. Makes you want to dive right into it. Wow, that has lively acidity, but not so much that it really tastes sharp. It just sort of picks everything up and lifts it. Still has that ripe currant, floral flavors, and it all persists nicely on the finish. Just a little bit of tannin, probably needs a year or so to lose that tannin, but then it'll be good for 5 years. New Zealand makes some excellent Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, Riesling, and Gewürztraminer, and even a few good Syrahs and Cabernets, but the country's calling cards for wine are Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir, made in a signature Snappy style. They're happy wines. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do.